What's up YouTube? This is going to be your guide on how to use Kyogre in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun meme movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, put it below in the comment section. If you enjoy the vids, they help you out, drop a like and let's get into it. So Kyogre obviously is a very powerful legendary Pokemon, and it has some pretty nice stats all around. Good typing, just being water, and an excellent ability with Drizzle, summoning the rain when it comes in. So let's go over some movesets that you can do with it for singles and doubles and whatnot, and I've got a few fun sets too. So one of the more common sets you'll see on Kyogre, of course, is a Choice Scarf set, and people run this, and it's good because you've got the move Water Spout. Virtually, if you can get Kyogre to go first, it's gonna stack well with Water Spout, being 150 base power. And obviously, the more health you have, the more powerful it is going to be. And also, in the rain, it's going to be powered up again. And if you've got Terra Water, it's going to be even more powerful. So people do like to run this because it is very powerful indeed. And singles and doubles. It does have a counters, but it is very strong for sure once any counters are removed. So it can be a great mid to late game sweeper. The other moves it gets, obviously we got Thunder, which works absolutely nice in the rain there, with the rain making it 100% accurate, so it's great on a rain team. You can keep landing those Thunders over and over. Ice Beam is very good for coverage against any of Kyogre's common swap-ins, and we've got Origin Pulse there too, so you might find that Kyogre's health does diminish over the course of the battle, or you have to swap it in, or there's priority. So that sort of allows you to go for Origin Pulse and still hit really hard as well. The only thing about Origin Pulse is its shaky accuracy with 85. So that's the sort of drawback there. But this Pokemon is very strong, right? So we got max special attack and max speed, timid nature with the Choice Scarf. It's going to be outspeeding most things. There are some good counters to this though, but it can be very unstoppable if you don't have them on your team. You can also run a Choice Spec set on this as well. It also runs Choice Specs rather nicely. In comparison, you're sort of giving up a lot of speed there, but it can still be very effective too. And you could just, if you know you're not going to be going first here, you can go for Origin Pulse instead. And if you've got a speed advantage, well, then you can go for Water Spout. So you just got a little bit more power over speed there. So you're trading power for speed, and it just hits a ridiculous amounts of damage in the rain. Absolutely like insane stuff, really. Now, let's talk about some Terras here. So for the Choice Scarf set, I would definitely use water, because you're really going to be using Water Spout most of the time, right? So you're going to be wanting to boost Water Spout's power. When you do something like Specs, you're probably not going to be always relying on water, so you can be a little bit more choosy of what you want. So you can have water as still, obviously. You can do more defensive ones on it, like ground. Ground is really good because it's weak to electric, so it's always a nice Terra to go for. Even if you don't have a ground type move like Terra Blast on there, it can still be quite useful. And some other more defensive ones, say like Fairy, is pretty good on it too. So that could be quite good against any dragon type moves. It's just a good type in general for overall bulk as well. And you're still going to hit very hard. You could go for more ones like, you could do like Terra Electric as well, to boost up Thunder's power. It can be a little bit dodgy if the rain does disappear, but it's good for opposing electric type moves aimed at, or an opposing Kyogre can be very good for that as well. That's where Terra Ground can come into. So some other sort of options there if you want to go for that. But that's pretty much it for Choice Scarf, Choice Specs, Kyogre. You can also do Assault Vest as well if you want a bit more bulk and stuff like that. That can definitely work. I wouldn't change the EVs around at all. Max attack and max speed are pretty good on Kyogre. It sort of plays across the board. Especially for singles, I wouldn't do anything else than that. Unless you really want to survive like certain hits and things like that. I would just go with that. So yeah, that's the first Kyogre set. Kyogre can run a good Calm Mind set too, and it can be very, very powerful. So same sort of moves here. You got Ice Beam, Thunder, Origin Pulse. It'll generally always run these moves on most sets. And then we've got Calm Mind too. So Calm Mind is going to boost up its crazy high special attack already. And it's going to give it, it's got a very good special defensive stat too. So that's going to make that even better. And then we got Life Orb for even more damage too. So that can be a very, very hard hitter as well. Obviously, it's prone to being outsped. So there is that. I got Terra Ground in there because I think that can be quite good for any like Miraidon and other stuff as well. Just if you're doing legendary battles or another opposing Kyogre with Thunder can be quite good too, because you can go for Terra Ground and then you opposing Kyogre you can use Thunder against. I'm just trying to think some other interesting ones you could go for as well. Just back to this one, you could give up maybe Water Spout on the Choice Spec set. You could give up Water Spout. And you could give it Terra Blast, and you could give it Terra Blast Grass. That's another option that you can do too. Because you'll find without that extra bit of speed, Kyogre can get outsped, and you might find you're not using Water Spout very much, and you just go for Origin Pulse. So that's another option that you can do as well for Kyogre. Same sort of EVs there on both of these. Let's look at some doubles stuff. So doubles is fairly similar to singles actually. What you can do, you can change the EV, the EV spread up a little bit if you like, but I find it works pretty well with the current sort of EV spread. 252's speed and special attack works well. If there's like if you want to survive certain hits, I guess you could adjust its its speed a little bit or its special attack, but mostly this is how it's going to go. So this is a timid set. So we got Origin Pulse, which is very, very good for hitting both of the opponents. You got Water Spout as well. So that Choice Scarf set can work well here. The Choice Spec set that I was already talking about. Both of those are going to work well. I'm just trying to give you something a little bit different here. And we've got Thunder and Ice Beam. Now, Wide Lens is actually low-key kind of good on this because you can get and a little bit of extra accuracy on this. So this is 85, right? So it's kind of average for accuracy. You're probably going to miss here and there. So this is going to give you an extra 10% on top of that. So it's going to at least put you into the 90s there for accuracy, which is going to be, it's going to be a bit better, not 93 or something. So it's going to give you almost near perfect accuracy. So that could help a little bit. Some other items that you could have on there as well if you want to power up your water moves, because Kyogre does use water moves a lot. Mystic Water is pretty good. That's if you don't want like a choice item, that's quite a good one that you can use as well. If you've got all attacking moves, Assault Vest is good too. That's pretty good. And then if you've got something like, you could do Choice Specs as well. That could work. That's another good item. If you're not running Scarf, Covert Cloak isn't too bad either. So you can avoid being flinched and stuff like that. There are other Pokemon allies and stuff that are good for that too, which I'll mention soon. I'm trying to think. Splash wouldn't be too bad either. Splash Plate. It's another good one too. But yeah, there's a couple of items that you could have there for sure. Let's talk about terrors for a little bit. So we got water, obviously, as the main one. Grass is a pretty good one too. I don't mind grass at all. You could even give it Terra Blast if you wanted to. You could even drop. Maybe one of these water moves here. Say you want to drop Water Spout. You could give it Protect as well. Protect, obviously, is a very, very good move in doubles. So if you're not running a choice set, you could definitely have Protect and maybe put on Life Orb. That's not too bad as well. Life Orb's not a bad one to go for there as well. There's quite a few. You got Terra Ground as well. You could even do something. You could even do, some other options for moves too. But these are generally the best ones that you could possibly use and make the best use out of Kyogre. Now, we've gone over quite a few sweeping sets that are very similar on all of them, right? I wanted to do more of a bulky support style set because Kyogre actually doesn't have that bad a bulk, especially on the special defensive side. So we've made this fun set. I've used this before and it's actually not too bad. Get some good surprise, and if you get some good luck as well, it can be quite good. So We got max health and max defense on this. I'm going to make this defensively bulky because it's already got really massive special defense either. So that gives it all-round bulk and with bold nature. And we've got Rocky Helmet on this. So any physical attackers, it actually learns Thunder Wave, which is really cool. So you can spread paralysis. You can actually help your ally Pokemon with Helping Hand. That gets priority too, which is nice. I still get an Origin Pulse, so it isn't just going to be doing no damage at all. And you even got Sheer Cold. It gets Sheer Cold as well, so you might be able to get a one-hit KO against a really tanky Pokemon or something your team struggles for as well. So a bit of a fun set, but I've actually used this before and it's not all that bad. It's a little, obviously it's a bit gimmicky, but it's a little bit of a surprise factor because most people are going to expect the normal Origin Pulse / Water Spout set. So it can be a little bit of surprise. As for Terra, you could have that as Terra. Actually, I think this might serve better as probably Terra Ground. I'd say Terra Ground. That way you can get around any opposing electric type moves and stuff like that. So Terra Ground or Terra Fairy wouldn't be too bad either for more defensive sort of things. That could be pretty good actually. Now, let me think here. So we got a physical set. So I've run a physical Kyogre before. It can be a bit of a, this is more of a surprise factor. I mean, 100 base attack isn't bad or anything. It's just got way better special attack, right? But it does get a pretty good spread of moves. So this is a Assault Vested flinching set, physical flinching set. We got Terra Steel with Iron Head for flinching, any fairy type Pokemon. We got Earthquake, of course, just for coverage, any like electric types and stuff. We got Waterfall with Drizzle. And we got Rock Slide as well for more flinching and such like that. So we've got max attack and max speed, Jolly Nature. So we're trying to go as fast as possible with this set, and we're going to try and spam Waterfall in the rain. And it actually hits pretty reasonable hard as well. But definitely more of a gimmicky set on Kyogre compared to these previous sets that I was already talking about there. You could go Terra, you could do a different Terra too, maybe Terra Ground could work too, or Terra Water, try and get a bit more base power out of Waterfall. So we've got a little bit of a PIMPNITE special there. Let's do another PIMPNITE special and we'll explain some counters and some teammates and stuff like that. Man, feast your eyes on this one. So we've got a mixed Kyogre Pasho Berry PIMPNITE special. Let me walk you through this one. So we've got max attack and max speed, naive nature, right? Because I don't want to drop its special attack. I don't want to drop its attack. Now, it actually learns Ancient Power, which is pretty cool. So that gives it a 10% chance to get an Omni Boost. So we got Liquidation, Ancient Power. We got Earthquake. So we're getting lots of different types of coverage here. And we also have Thunder too. So we've got Terra Ground. So once you go Terra Ground, you're sort of weak to water. So I thought Pasho Berry would be super funny if you're a Terra Ground. It would power the water type move down a lot, especially if there's Drizzle there. So you might be able to live an extra unexpected hit there and get some more damage off. And since it's a mixed attacker, like its special attack is still better than its max attack one, even with naive nature. So it's actually quite a good for fun, a good mixed attacker there. So yeah, you could give this one a shot. Tell me how it goes. PIMPNITE special there. Let's have a look now at some teammates and counters and stuff like that. If you're wondering how to counter Kyogre, or you're wondering what teammates would be good for it, I got you. So a great Tailwind Tornadoes would be pretty good. Yeah, so Tornadoes would be great for Tailwind support. Now, the reason I say that is whether you're running like a Choice Scarf, Choice Spec set, right? Let's put Water Spout on here because that's more relevant to what I'm talking about. If you're running one of these sort of sets there, the Choice Scarf, Choice Spec one, Tornadoes is great because it's got Tailwind and you're going to be going first a lot of the time. So that's going to be really, really good and very, very powerful too. Now, this can also learn Rain Dance, which is good. So I have done a Tornadoes guide as well. So if you want to have a look at Tornadoes, I believe I've done that one. You can check out the playlist for all the ones I've done. This learns Rain Dance too, which is important. Definitely important. So I would probably have Damp Rock on this too, if you're going to run this sort of combination. Now, if Kyogre's weather gets disrupted by drought or something like that, it's important that you need to set that up again, because Kyogre is going to be no good in the sun. It's not going to do nowhere near as much damage for sure. And this is sort of fills that role, a support role, perfectly. So that's definitely one I would recommend. This is probably a bit more gimmicky. So stuff like Serena with Queenly Majesty can stop any priority moves. Like, so, you know, like Rillaboom. That's going to be a big counter to Choice Scarf Kyogre. So you got stuff like Rillaboom is good. Another one that would be better than that, I would say, would be Farigiraf, much better. So Armatail, that's a great ally with Kyogre too, so it can stop any Rillabooms or any sort of stuff that would slow its its Water Spout or Origin Pulse spamming down. So that's going to be an excellent partner there. So they're really good ones for sure. Now, that stops anything like Fake Out and things like that too. So anything like that's going to be good. I would say Incineroar is going to be nice too with Parting Shot and Intimidate. I've done a guide for Incineroar if you want to check that out too. But anything like that's going to be very, very useful. Dropping the stats, dropping the attack of the opponent, and while you're spamming Water Spout and such like that. So that's going to be very, very effective, right? Now, I actually haven't done a guide on this Pokemon before, but I've done this strategy so many times. It's pretty broken. So, what you can do with Oranguru, I haven't done an Oranguru guide, but you can do like Instruct Oranguru. So what Instruct does, if you target the Kyogre, right, and it does Water Spout. So if you use Instruct on Kyogre, it'll use another Water Spout after that immediately. So it'll do 2 Water Spouts in a row in the same turn. And that's going to be very, very powerful, right? So not a bad, fun little gimmick you can actually use there. And it's got good bulk to it. It's got good support. I know this video is not about Oranguru, but you can do quite a good amount of damage, especially in doubles. But this is obviously, we're speaking about doubles or VGC play here. You can use this on like Eruption, Water Spout. Those are really good, and even other moves that are very powerful, like Blood Moon on Ursaluna or something like that. It's very, very good for that. So you could give that a shot too. So I've given you guys some pretty good partners there. I mean, obviously Urshifu's going to be super good. Rapid Strike, like, it's going to be a super good Pokemon on that team too. Benefiting from Drizzle and spamming Surging Strikes, right? That's going to be great. Good partner. Rillaboom's a good partner as well. Just any opposing Kyogre, it can cover any of those weaknesses, is going to be good. Done a Rillaboom guide too if you want to check that out. Yeah, I think I've covered pretty much some great teammates there. I know there's quite a few. It's a great Pokemon. Let's go with some things that might be able to counter Kyogre, right? Now, Kyogre can be difficult to completely counter, so I'll give you some options here, but I'm going to say like things like you have to sort of watch out for this move if it has it, right? So I don't mind Clodsire as a good counter. So Water Absorb is going to get around its most basic spammable moves like Water Spout and Origin Pulse. It's pretty good. And Thunder. So that's a pretty solid counter. The only thing it has to watch out for is Ice Beams. It can't take repeated Ice Beams very, very well, so I'll have to watch out for that. So that's quite a good counter, definitely with its ability. Let's have a look. Wellspring's not too bad as well. Just think about Ogerpon. Ogerpon Wellspring's not too bad too because it's got Water Absorb. So same kind of thing there. And Ice Beam's actually going to be neutral against this, so it's going to be pretty good. And then say if you got a grass move like Horn Leech, that's going to hit Kyogre pretty hard. So Wellspring's quite a good counter there. Rillaboom's a good counter as well. And here's what I was talking about before, having an ally that stops priority moves. If you don't have that, like Rillaboom can just absolutely destroy Kyogre with Grassy Glide and Grassy Surge. So that's a great counter too if they don't have that. Iron Hands is pretty good too. This Pokemon is just really tanky. Very, very tanky. It probably needed an Assault Vest, though. I would say it's like one main Assault Vest. I've done Iron Hand, so that could be quite good at living attacks. That's another one. I'm trying to think of some other good counters for this, because it's used so many times. Eternatus isn't bad, too. Depending on what rule set you play and stuff. I'm trying to be, like, general about what I'm saying here, whether you're playing doubles VGC or smoke on rules or any rules, right? Eternatus is a pretty good counter here. Because it's faster, it's generally faster than Kyogre, and it can also Toxic Stall too pretty well. And yeah, a lot of its moves aren't very good except for Ice Beam though. That's about the only thing you have to sort of worry about. But it can actually Toxic Stall and recover. I can do that pretty comfortably. Miraidon and Miraidon and Koraidon too. They're good counters for obvious reasons. That they're definitely good counters. What are some other legendaries? How about not that many people would probably use Arceus. I'm just thinking of some hyper specific ones. Arceus Grass would be pretty good against it too. I actually really would like to do an Arceus guide, because I think it'd just be interesting. I do all the types of Arceus, so if you'd like to see that, let me know. Another one I'd like to do is Smeargle too, because they're just like so many different movesets you could do for them. But if you'd like to see them, let me know if you're still watching at the moment. But Kyogre is pretty much cooked. It can only use Ice Beam, and it's not going to do very much damage anyway. Another good one. Giratina's not too bad as well. I'm just trying to give you a lot of counters to this Pokemon because it's used a lot, right? So, I've given some more gimmicky counters, and now we're doing a few legendaries here. So, yeah, I would say Giratina's pretty nice too. That's going to be pretty good. Except for Ice Beam, it's got to sort of watch out for that. But there you go. There's definitely some good counters there for Kyogre. And some good teammates as well. I definitely think some good teammates are there. I think I've mentioned some pretty nice ones. Yeah, I can't really think of any other ones that would be like very, very good, as good as the ones that I mentioned. If you got any other ones, you can let me know. But I think I've covered like the main bulk of it. Let's have just a quick analysis of all the moves that Kyogre knows. It doesn't learn a lot of moves, but it's got everything that it pretty much needs. So we've gone over Calm Mind. That can be very good if you're using that over Scarf or Specs. It gives you a little bit more opportunities to boost your stats while not being locked into a choice item. Gone over Thunder Wave and gone over Helping Hand. It can even reset its own Rain Dance if you really want that, but I don't probably think you would. Special moves. So Ancient Power, we've gone over that. It actually gets Blizzard. I didn't actually mention Blizzard. So if you're running an Ice team, you could go Terra Ice Kyogre with Blizzard. If you had Hail, like something like Ninetales, and then it would get the defensive bulk with its special defense already. So that could be, I could see that being pretty good actually. I never mentioned Hydro Pump because it's outclassed virtually by every day. There's no reason to not use Origin Pulse, so Hydro Pump is pretty useless. Water Spout, we've gone over that. That's best. Yeah, and then you got some other. There are a couple of gimmicks like Icy Wind and stuff as well. And looking at it, of course, looking at its physical moves, it's got it's got an interesting amount. It doesn't actually learn a lot of moves, like very, very little moves. So I sort of went over that. It gets some good physical moves, and we did like a little physical set and stuff like that. But I think that's pretty much it for Kyogre. It's, you know, it does its job very well. It's a very threatening Pokemon, but it does have its, it definitely does have its counters. But man, Water Spout, Terra Water is so powerful. Even resisted, right? If you don't have a counter for it, you are going to get cooked. That's about it. I'll probably do Groudon next after this because I've already done Rayquaza, so it only sort of feels right to do Groudon. Hope you enjoyed it, everyone. If you want to see me to do a Pokemon, could be any sort of Pokemon, probably I'm sort of focusing the fully evolves first or Legends or whatever like that. You can leave below in the comment section. You got anything to add or whatever, put it below there. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.